Coming at you, not live from Joel's house. We got Slimer back. We've got women. We've got proton beams that are flaccid. All this and more on another episode of Sequel Men the podcast.
And cue my intro. Yeah, all right, great. Well, here we are.
Welcome. Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry. This is your bit. Go ahead.
Welcome to yet another episode of Sequel Men the podcast, everybody. I am one of your hosts, Christian Bring It All. And bringing it all today is my friend. Maybe I'll mix it up a little bit. He stands at 6'1" when he's sitting down on the beach. And when he is, I suck at this.
It's okay. Don't try to do what he does because it's annoying anyway. Okay. Don't try to be Spencer with that because.
Fast forward. It's our friend and pal and resident sex machine, Joel.
All right. Well, that was probably the truest one yet. But yeah, hey, it's me, Joel, the voice of this podcast, voice of Lake Marching
Well, certainly
Band.
not me.
No, I'm not the voice of you. Yeah, I just had COVID again, even though I'm fully vaxxed. So that was fun. So that's partly why we've been taking so long with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, sorry.
And that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not okay that you got COVID.
It's okay. It's okay that you were having a miserable life for a week.
That just reminded me of that one episode when you fainted in your box. You almost died.
Yeah. As you'll see,
I almost died.
I have learned to keep the doors open now. And also because I have a more comfortable setup. I've got my office chair in here and I have to leave the doors open because it's too small to. Anyway.
So
bottom line, we're not going to have any more passing out on my end.
That's all right. We don't want you passing out. We want you fully aware and awake and cognizant of your goings on. Welcome to Sequel Men the podcast. This is our show. We're happy to have you here. And today, we're going to be talking about franchise films like we always do. And just in time, look who joined us.
Yeah, fucking finally.
Look who's here.
Hey, Joel, let's fight right now. Nah, we won't do that.
He is here.
We already took care of intros, so you can just.
Oh, did you
introduce yourself and let's get this over
did
with.
you? Did you actually
trust us?
Yeah,
it's very good.
That's what happens.
Did you do you didn't do at the beginning?
Oh,
we did
I have to say, I was
that.
wrong. I was wrong. We're not the sequel men. We're the conductors of the metaphysical examination. So
no,
just had to get that through.
Can you stop fingering your mouth on microphone?
I'm not
fingering your butt.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, Spencer, don't forget to turn your. Don't forget
coming
to turn your
late
gain
to the podcast.
Gain down a little bit on the mic, Spencer. Remember.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, just checking.
I can go further.
Nah.
I'll go down on you.
Well, please don't.
No, but do you suffer from being an idiot? Do you often find yourself making claims that make no sense and try to pass them off as facts? Did you never have a relationship with your father and didn't realize the impact it had on your own masculinity and confidence in your adult life until it was much too late, and now you're stuck just talking about childish stuff that 3 people care about? Us too. But first this. Cameos, Slimer's wife, Kevin, improv overload, all this and more on this edition of Sequel Men the podcast. Coming in. So my first experience with this film was a couple nights ago, last week.
I'm going to cut you off right there because I want you to pay special attention to where my finger is pointing. I have this poster on the wall. That's what that rolled up poster was, the Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Ghostbusters 2016.
2016, and I wasn't recording in Audacity, but I'm sure you can use the audio from something else.
Yeah, we can do that. The women,
I am now.
the female-led, the women cast Ghostbusters film. that came out in 2016. We are talking about that tonight. And I just wanted to share that I got this poster right there, from the
I gotta expand.
movie theater
Oh, yeah.
I worked at. I have two posters, actually. One of them is kind of like a silhouette of the proton pack, but I thought this one was better, just in terms of, and I got the two Ghostbusters movies sitting up on my shelf. So anyway, continue, Spencer.
Well, I just want to say, first of all, that this movie is, in case you didn't know, it's the 2016. And I thought it was a sequel that is actually a reboot. And it's the one that, hey, if you're a Republican, you might not like. If you live in Texas,
yeah,
you might not like this one. And you won't like it, not because like the story is redone, but just not very good. You won't not like it because the effects are very good. You're gonna not like it because they changed. The Ghostbusters are men and they made them women. Well, you can shove a dildo up your nose hole and out your butt for all I care. This movie, it's bad, but it's not bad for that reason. Okay.
I actually don't think it's bad.
No, I don't think it's bad either. Joel,
why'd you just say that?
Because I was conforming. I wanted to gain.
And I'm not trying
bit.
to be all defensive. I'm just. I
wanted to gain back some of the Texas viewers.
Well, listeners? I don't think that hole has been filled up and buried. There's no going back.
Kind of like theirs,
but which one? But
hey Joel, look.
See. Well, I was really looking. The trailers came out, and I wasn't a big aficionado of Ghostbusters, so I don't have the emotional attachment that so many other people do who love the original movies and who absolutely hate this movie with a burning passion that doesn't make any sense to me, but
nor me.
I like it. I think it's funny. I found myself laughing more times during this movie than I did the other two. At least the first one. The first one. I laughed more at this one than I did the first one. That's not saying it's not funny. It's just some of the humor resonated a little more with me in this one. But I saw this in theater.
But that's not what he's saying.
I went alone and saw this in theater at the Celebration or Cinema Carousel in Muskegon. And yeah, I was alone. But I specifically remember the scene before the concert when Patty is walking around alone in the back in like the dressing rooms and shit. She sees the room with the mannequins.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Good
like,
scene.
That's a room full of nightmares. Not going in there.
I gotta say, what's her name?
Freaky ass mannequin doll following her down the hall.
Mm-hmm. What's her name? Leslie Jones.
Leslie Jones, and
I usually do not find her funny. I think she's over the top. In this, I thought she was great. I was fully expecting to not like her character. It turns out I loved her character. There's been one other instance where I found myself laughing at her, and it was the James Franco Christmas wrapping paper sketch from SNL when he accidentally spits fake blood in her mouth. I cracked up, and that wasn't even her trying to be funny. It was like a blooper that made it in. But she was funny in this. I liked her. And she was actually kind of
the devil is a liar.
The normal one, which is weird.
The power of Patty compels you.
Yeah. There's one line in this. I'll tell you when we get
Casper.
to it. But I rewound it 5 times to watch this line again. And every time I laughed a little bit harder.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Mm-hmm. And also, Joel, you'll be happy to know this is the first Ghostbuster film that I did not even doze off during. So that tells you anything
that's
about
not
the
going to make
quality
him
of it.
happy at all. That
No. Go to Texas.
All right, your turn.
At the risk of sounding like Ben fucking Shapiro or something.
Here it is.
It's not okay. This is part of the problem with this particular movie is the people who didn't like it, like me, you know, and I kept my mouth shut online for the most part when it came out, because I saw what was happening to the people that were speaking up that didn't like it. Is because you're all automatically anti-feminist and that's not the problem. I don't care that it's an all-female cast, or like there's no issue. There's no inherent issue with that. It's the complete mishandling of legacy characters, or legacy actors rather. You know, just because you do a reboot doesn't mean you have to throw everything out, you know, and just completely disregard and throw the legacy actors in some bullshit roles and then put a ribbon on it and call it Ghostbusters. There you go. My initial thoughts. My initial experience with this movie.
I just want to go off what you just...
I've had my opening comments, so there you go.
Going off what you just said, I think that's what I was going to say initially. I was going to ask you, so your problem isn't that they're women.
No.
You're not part of that. No. That's not. I'm
Why
not
do you
trying
say
to
that?
be
Because
funny.
that's Christian's
I'm not
issue
trying to
with the
be
film.
funny. Well, Sigourney Weaver's in this movie too. Gal darn it, get her out.
Is she in it? Does that count?
No, your issue isn't that there's nothing in this movie that comes out as woke to me, other than the fact that almost every male character is dumb or obnoxious or stupid. That's something I don't like in any media. If there's a show about a single dad, he's incompetent. He can't change a diaper. He can't take care of a child because he's not a mother. I don't like when they dumb down and make guys look stupid.
Right. Well,
I don't like that. And I don't.
It's not even.
Kevin is awful in this movie. He's too stupid. There's stupid, funny stupid, but then there's being too stupid, and that's Kevin. Too dumb.
Completely mishandled Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I'll agree with you there.
It's not even so much as made him stupid for some of the characters. I mean, they just put, you know, like Ernie Hudson and Bill Murray, and it's like they just gave them these stupid, inconsequential roles. Not so much that they were portraying them as stupid, but like they just gave them such insignificant, who gives a fuck roles, and it's like that's what ruins it.
Well,
you know,
I think part of the expectation is. I'm sorry, Spencer. Go ahead.
I'll let you go.
All right.
I'll pass the floor to you.
Okay, fine. I think. Sorry. I think because I'll forget. I think.
Go ahead.
The intent was never to give the spotlight to any of the legacy actors, because then that would inevitably take away from the new characters. They didn't want to do that, so that's why they're cameos. And I'm not saying they handled them right. I think 2 of the 4 were handled fine. Or well, I guess there's 5 in there. 3 of the 5, I will say, were fine. What's her face with the bowl cut that Christian wants to bone? Her little cameo, that was fine. She was fine. I thought Dan Aykroyd's was pretty fine. And Ernie Hudson's I thought was good. Bill Murray's, I will say, look, if you're going to give him an extended bit, make it worthwhile, because that character was just thrown in.
Right.
I was still in like, this is a sequel mode, because when he showed up, I'm like, he's going by this fake name. He's going to show up and be like, hey guys, I don't know if you, and then take the hat off, and I'm actually, and that never was the case. And then he just died. Okay.
Okay. First of all, that scene made me laugh when I saw it. Just when he gets fucking yeeted out the window. I'm sorry. That made me laugh. When he's like, Casper, whoa! I was like, he's dead. It's presumed he got killed. He's in the movie for like 5 minutes. But the whole thing about that, I watched the behind the scenes, the making of the movie, and the whole thing was about, well, before we even made the movie, and this is talking with the director, Paul Feig, famous Office alum, and he was in Heavyweights. He was in Heavyweights as one of the counselors.
Also,
and he directed Bridesmaids. But they talked about, what are the things we're going to miss if we do a movie about Ghostbusters? Well, we're going to miss the old cast, so let's find a way to include them in the movie and pay our respects that way, because this is in a different universe. It's not a sequel. The problem is they marketed it almost as a sequel, because in the opening of the trailer they said, I keep doing this thing with my finger, and I'm trying not to do that because someone else does that.
I thought I felt something in my butt.
All right. But they said like 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved New York, and all of a sudden people got the expectation, oh, it's a sequel. No, it's not a sequel. It's a reboot. It's a different universe. And including the original actors in the way that they were included in the movie, to me, is fine. If some of the cameos are weak, like Dan Aykroyd seemed a little weak and kind of just artificial, forced, then that's fine. Bill Murray's, I thought, was fine. Their rationale for that was because, well, he was the skeptic in the other movie, and I think they mentioned, I might be mistaken, well, he was skeptical about a sequel for so long, so we'll put him in the movie as a skeptic. Ernie Hudson as Patty's uncle, he had a funny part.
I thought that was the best one.
Like 2 seconds. Well, we don't stack them like flapjacks, like the corpses. Well, can't you do 2 funerals at the same time? No, Patty. But I don't think the movie, once you have the understanding that it's its own thing, it's not a sequel, it's its own thing, it's a different universe, you can take it as such and judge it on its own merits as an independent, separate thing from the other Ghostbusters movies. That's my opinion. I think it's funny. I like it. I take it for what it is. I find the actors very funny, the good chemistry, and each of their characters are tailored to their comedic stylings. They were written for their characters, and I like that. I think it's a good movie, and I don't think it's too disrespectful to the original 2 films. And to go off, sorry, I'm going to shut up in just a second. But Joel, I'm not talking about you, or you don't see yourself as part of the anti-feminist group. But I think, number one, a large part of this movie's fan base it's a male-dominated franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I think you heard it from Sigourney Weaver in the last episode when she said it was a boys' club. And I think some of them may have been offended and been accused of being woke for casting women in the 4 main roles, but that makes it unique. The thing about it is you have people like James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, who according to this documentary video I watched, it's the Shitstorm one that I watched, a shit show. He was saying he wasn't even going to watch the movie. And he was judging it without even watching the movie. He's like, I'm not even going to watch the movie because it just disrespects the entire fan base and the franchise as a whole, because we want, it's not a proper sequel to them. That I don't really.
It's not a sequel.
We can all be hypocrites.
Well, then why the fuck are we covering it?
We can say
because I have a theory.
We can say, well, we can be hypocrites like he kind of, in the style of him, by saying, well, I'm not going to even watch it. I'm not even going to watch it because it looks stupid. And we've probably done that with things before.
Probably.
But
here's the thing.
Anyway.
I have one more. Okay, so I guess I'll put an end cap on my one final end cap. I guess I am selective about which reboots I am accepting of, or a style of reboot I'm accepting of. Because like Star Trek, I fucking love the Chris Pine Star Trek. I love the new movies.
Oh yeah.
But it's because they did a reboot with the same characters. The same characters were still in play, So I guess I'm more and they had more reverence despite what hardcore Trekkies say. They had more reverence, I think. I've watched a fair amount of Star Trek, like Next Generation and some of the other stuff, but they had a fair amount of reverence to what came before, and the original characters, while not played by the same actors, obviously, were still in play. And so, but then reboots like this were just like, we're going to call it this, but it's not fucking that. You know, it's not, we're going to call it Ghostbusters, but it's really not Ghostbusters. You know,
I appreciate that it's something new and unique, though, versus kind of trying to tell the same story in just a repackaged fashion with the same characters but different talent. I find that is theoretically more interesting than just kind of retelling the same story with different actors. Or that's just my opinion. I find it refreshing and new and funny.
Here's
but
my
I
theory.
I can understand.
Here's my theory.
Okay.
Here's my theory. I'm going to tell you, and then we'll go into
We'll leave for the night. Great.
It is a sequel. Hear me out.
Okay.
Here's my theory. The cameos of the characters,
Oh God.
they're still their characters, but after all these years of dealing with ghosts and different sort of radiations, probably, they're warped and they forget who they are. They become these new people, or they just decide, the stress is too much, the publicity is too much. They go witness protection mode, start new lives separate from everybody else, new names, new careers. That's what I think. That's my theory. They are the same people.
Everyone's entitled to their own bullshit.
And with that,
Yeah.
No,
let's start this saga.
Can I
of
say
bullshit,
one more thing?
Spencer?
I'm not.
Oh God.
One more thing.
One more thing. That can be the name of your spin-off podcast. One more thing with Christian. One more fucking thing.
I just want to say we can all agree that all the hateful rhetoric, all the nonsense and discourse around this movie is completely and utterly nonsense and uncalled for and unnecessary and unacceptable, especially the attacks on Leslie Jones.
I didn't know there were any, but yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, Milo, you all remember Milo Yiannopoulos?
Nope.
Far right guy. He was making very racist, mean-spirited comments about her, about this movie on
That's
Twitter.
on brand.
And she was being attacked by people on Twitter for a bunch of sorts of things.
Yeah, well, fuck Twitter, by the way.
I don't know in depth, but that was all this. All this stuff around this movie is just, it's a movie.
Yeah.
It is a movie.
It's not hurting anybody.
And speaking of being a movie.
Yes, take us through it with your words.
Yes,
Act
I'm done.
1.
Dear
Gabe
God.
Lewis has left Dunder Mifflin, and he's now giving haunted tours at Aldridge Mansion. After the tour is over, a blue glowy device is shown under a table, and then the room where the girl was locked after killing butlers and stuff opens, and he goes in, falls in the green ooze floor, presumed to be dead. It sure looks like he was about to die. Aaron Gilbert is getting set to lecture on science stuff. Ed Mulgrave comes in, tells her he has questions about a ghost book that she wrote and believes he's being haunted. Aaron goes to old friend Abby Yates. She denies ever having even been a part of the book because she's put that part behind her. But she goes to her old friend Abby Yates to complain about the book being on the internet. She also meets particle physicist Jillian Holtzman. She and Abby believe in ghosts, but Aaron doesn't anymore, and Abby is mad about it. She and Abby believe in... Nope. Gabe Lewis is alive and introduces Ed to the women, and they go check out the mansion. Aaron finds green goo and thinks it's a joke. The basement glows blue, and the girl murder ghost comes out and throws up on Aaron and flies off. Aaron gets let go from the university she worked at because of her viral ghost video reaction. The women think they can help people with ghosts, but get denied by the dean at this shithole college. They steal equipment and bounce. Patty Tolan A subway worker gets attacked by a ghost after a weird guy, Rowan, sets it free, and the weird guy wants to set more ghosts free because of a mirror ghost. And he has a mission. First thing I'll say is that I love Kate McKinnon.
Mm-hmm.
And I even like her character in this, but she's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Like she's not the character that she started at. Like you think, okay, she's going to be the Egon character, just kind of deadpan, but she's not that.
Here's the thing, and I adore that woman. By the way, Kate McKinnon
she's great.
is genius. But
she's one of the best people to come out of SNL in years.
Really, in recent years, yeah. And I would say, like, my problem is not with them, is not with the characters themselves, is not with the writing or humor, because that stuff is great. That shines, and like that standing on its own, their auras and the humor and the writing and the quips and all that, like that's great. That's not my core with the film, because the very first thing we're talking about here, Kate McKinnon, her character, Holtzman, probably my favorite in the movie. Definitely my favorite in the movie.
I think mine too.
And I think it kind of saves this film for me. So,
well, mine and Patty, they tie.
This kind of goes off what I was saying. I love how each of the characters are written for these actors. It seems like they were written for these actresses specifically.
I would disagree
with Paul Feig. Well, they all
with Melissa McCarthy's character.
Their comedic stylings are perfectly suited to each of the characteristics of their characters. I mean, you got Erin Gilbert, which is Kristen Wiig, which I love Kristen Wiig. Very attractive woman and very funny.
All of these women are great, and they're all hilarious people.
Yes. And all their character, I just feel like they slide into their characters naturally, and none of it seems forced. Like you would expect Kate McKinnon, she's always playing quirky, funny, weird characters in the bits that she's in.
She's so good at it.
Melissa McCarthy is Abby. She like says these non sequitur remarks here and there, and has these funny moments that are nonsense, but she reads them like they're normal. Like oh look, I came up with the perfect thing. If you see something, say something. In the number, I think that's the anti-terror hotline.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we've been getting these bags.
See, I think her character actually isn't a typical Melissa McCarthy character, because she's not like this over the top, crude kind of improv.
Right.
First of all, sidebar, the improv in this.
She's good at reading silly shit like a normal person.
Doesn't work for me. Too much improv. I usually cannot, like when people talk like, oh yeah, the improv here was great. I'm like, how do you tell the difference between improv and a written line? You can tell here because it's overdone and it mostly doesn't work.
I did like the wonton
it's typical
bit.
Yeah, that was fine. It's typical, like, kind of modern comedy to just, okay, you're overstaying your welcome. You're letting the improv go a little too far. Like with when they're talking about the guy and he's dancing at a club and then the V-neck under the V-neck. I'm like, all right, let's wrap it up here.
I thought that was hilarious.
Stop
because they had a genuine reaction, though.
Yeah, I
know
like
that's
that.
later in the movie, but when Patty starts laughing,
at the beginning of it.
Okay.
But there's just a lot of moments, like with them and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little overboard.
Oh, wait.
Reel them in. Hey, guys, improv, that's fine. Or in the editing room. Yeah, let's cut some.
Ghost Tits was my nickname in high school.
Oh, yeah, that's an act, too, though, isn't it? We haven't even met Kevin.
No, I'd agree.
I know.
I'd agree, especially with
we'll get
Kristen Wiig's, like, all the bits where she's just obsessing over Chris Hemsworth. Why can't I remember his name?
Oh, but, yeah. That doesn't really go anywhere. It's like, and it seems a little out of character.
We get it, and move on.
Erin Gilbert is the serious one. Her and Abby, they're friends. They're kind of the ones taking, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, drawing comparisons. Egon would probably be closer to Holtzman. Abby would be Dan Aykroyd. and Aaron would be Bill Murray, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
But
yeah, I feel like they intended for her to be like the straight character, the skeptic. But then she does this stupid stuff, like dances in front of nobody and does all this weird, out of character, in my opinion, stuff. It's like, all right, we want her to be this character, but also she's gonna kind of be not that character too. So like they did that with each one of them, except I think Patty was the most consistent for me, because even Melissa McCarthy, there was moments where I'm like, yeah, all right, I figured her out. No, I didn't. That seems off for what was set up with her. Oh, Aaron, okay, she's the straight. Nope, now she's shaking her butt in her lecture hall. Like, what?
Yeah.
What
do you
Ed Begley.
What do you want to do here?
Oh, that thing? That's just a joke that I made back in school.
Well, the first line
sentence says, "This is not a joke."
That was pretty funny. There's a lot of great, funny lines in here. When the humor hits, it hits, but mostly it doesn't.
Do you have a sample of the soiling? A sample? I didn't soil myself. Yes, you did. You called me and you said, "Oh my God, my pants are toast."
Yeah, I talked to Ed Mulgrave. He's been dead for 15 years. No, he's right there. Oh, that's Ed Mulgrave.
Well, that's
Senior.
obviously who I
That was
meant.
a pretty good gag.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good gag.
The other part
like
when
that.
he threw the keys out in the street. All right, well, we'll get in there. And he throws, "You're going to die in there." He just throws the keys at her in the street. And she goes, "Really?" I don't know. Stuff like that cracked me up. The stuff with Higgins and you spell science with a Y. And the thing that makes me upset about that is that you don't think anything's wrong with that.
Yeah.
And it's just, hey, I got a couple things here for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot he was in this movie. And I was like, yeah.
That scene, though, I love when Melissa says, "Oh my, that is just completely unprofessional," as he's doing his little bird thing.
Steve Higgins is the dean at the college.
Yeah.
He
used to be Conan's guy, wasn't he?
Or was it?
On the Tonight Show.
Maybe.
No, it's...
Or he is Conan's
Jimmy
too.
Fallon. Right? Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, I got Jimmy Fallon
Sure.
mixed up. My bad.
So, yeah, I'm used to seeing him as the sidekick on that show in late night TV.
Of course, that
Hey, that useless stuff belongs to this school.
Right.
That useless junk. So yeah, Ghostbusters.
No, I thought the effects on the ghosts were really, really good. I thought the ghosts looked great. It was definitely.
I thought the slime looked great.
You can see an improvement in that stuff, but I guess I do have something to add about.
Oh, do you know?
The unnecessary fucking with the gadgets really bothered me. I know it's a small little anal picky thing, but not picking your anus, but the PKE meter, what the fuck?
That looks like something.
You couldn't at least keep the original PKE meter design. What was wrong with it? In fact, it was better than whatever that fucking $5 theme park wand she was walking around.
Okay, Joel, I got sex toy from that number one.
That too, but I was trying to keep
looks like
professional.
Yes. Well,
okay.
We can talk about it professional. It looks like a sex toy. And I'm sure that was the intention. They just didn't say anything or make a joke about it.
And the lights are
the anal
pink.
prongs.
Look at the shape. Look at the shape of it.
Yeah.
But
that's
part of it. Doesn't seem like a realistic design. It looks like you said,
stupid.
Too much like a toy or something that you
like
could
something
get
you'd buy at a
an
theme
park.
park. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a cotton candy thing.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool.
Looks like a novelty item.
Fast.
Bottom line, novelty item, and then even later on with this, the car wasn't bad besides its sound. what the fuck.
Oh,
But
I love the
the
car.
car is cool.
the car itself was cool, but the siren sucked. But and just like the other equipment,
Distinctly
like
European.
the packs and everything else, it's like, you know, you got to
I like
throw
their
everything
outfits.
out, and I don't know, the designs that for nerds, for fans of the films, like, they pay attention to that stuff. That's like Star Wars fans with the lightsabers, you know, or
I love
blasters,
we have to keep in mind this is not the same universe, and they're doing something different. So not everything is going to be the same. When you go into it with that understanding, and again, like I said, I'm not married to the original movies. I don't have that strong connection to them, so I'm able to absorb this stuff more easily than someone like you. And that's fine.
than one of you.
I'm not saying it like
people.
that. I don't mean it like
Well,
that.
Joel, see,
I just
you
mean people
people
who have a treasured memories of it when they were kids, and it's one of their favorite movies. That's what I mean. But I get what you're saying, though. Some of the designs are over. Like, I'll agree with you on the proton pack that they have that red light on the back that goes around, and, like, you know what I'm talking about? On the final version of the pack,
Yeah,
the red
and that's what
on the back.
Why did I have for Act One? I had a
fan
comment about the proton beam. I said even made a shittier proton beam because there was something about
the beam looks good.
Fine. I think it looks fine.
That wasn't
that
fine. Happened, like something malfunctioned. I don't know, maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but I had that down as a note. So something must have bothered me about the way that the proton beam fired or something to that effect, but whatever. Yeah, I'm the big
maybe
nerd
the sound
over here,
effect,
but
the sound of the proton stream is different.
Maybe, yeah,
it's different than the original film, and you're going to see just how much better it sounds in Afterlife. Spencer,
I'm pretty pumped to watch this next one.
I can't wait to watch it again. I love that.
I just got it from the library today. I put it on hold.
So
and it just came in.
It's so good. I can't
really
wait.
Excited about it.
But I will agree with you on the cat. It's still a Cadillac. In the special features, they did say it was still a Cadillac, the Ecto One. But it's just a hearse.
This one's a hearse.
An actual hearse.
Other one's an ambulance.
Love that. Yeah. I didn't know that until I watched the behind the scenes.
More like
they mentioned the first one was an ambulance. This one's a hearse, which goes with the undead theme. Was their rationale, and I just love that. I think it's genius. But anyway,
the gadget. No, that's in the next. I have more stuff to say about I think Act 2 and Act 3 than I do Act 1 because it was pretty by the book. Why it was
doing
really
an
weird
origin
how they
story
set up Gabe Lewis's. I can't remember his actual character's name, but the guy, the tour guide.
Either.
Weird how. Like they really, it looked like he died. He was about to die, and then he's just fine afterwards. Like he doesn't even speak of it. Just well, here it is. Not like he didn't go insane from it. I thought maybe he was like possessed or something. So then that was going to be the main villain was going to be within him, but he wasn't. Like he was completely fine after that incident, and I don't know. I mean, I think he said no more times than Shia LaBeouf in Transformers. Just no, and then the song nope. That song came on. That was pretty cool.
That didn't happen.
Oh, but it kind of did with how he was. Anyway,
I did like how he was riffing off the mansion earlier, like BSing these tourists. Fun fact: the whole movie was filmed in Boston. The whole movie was filmed in Massachusetts, and they superimposed Manhattan behind the mansion. So,
of course, why not just make it in Boston and make it completely different? Why does it have to be in the same place? Just make it where you're shooting.
Oh,
make it in Boston.
This is the room where it is said that P.T. Barnum first came up with the idea to enslave the elephants. Come with me. I don't know. That
a world of pure imagination.
I find some of the lines like that just delivered like it's normal. That kind of stuff makes me laugh.
Yeah, I thought Gabe Lewis was good. his character was fun. It was fine. Nice little shows, the gimmicks that some actual quote unquote haunted places use. When he picks up the candle and it has the little arm thing that knocks it over. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
that makes sense.
They showed too much of that.
I didn't.
I don't know. It just seemed like a pointless thing to me to show him. I wanted more of the
movie to take place in that mansion. I thought that's what we were setting up. Turns out, not really at all. Just that one device. And then we do meet Rowan in this, who we don't really...
I'm sorry. He reminds me of Josh Evola. I can see it. Obviously not the personality, just the appearance.
Yeah, Josh had a plot like this too, where he was like, "Hey guys, I'm working on a film," but he was actually trying to summon ghosts with it. It was weird.
I don't know.
He wanted me to act in it. I'm like,
Rowan.
I'm acting in Christian's box.
Oh, you don't know Josh.
I don't.
Good guy, cool guy, really close friends with. He always hung out with.
Zach.
Yeah, no. It goes by Chase now, formerly known as Charles.
We need to
Decker.
have Zach.
Him?
We need to have Josh
Charles?
on the show.
Do you remember Charles?
Oh yeah,
yes. Those two were always doing projects. Yeah, I think they were. I don't know if they still are, but yeah. Oh, he was at Brandon's wedding. That was cool. But yeah, we should have some of those guys. We should have some
Zach,
of those guys.
Chase, Josh. Yeah, that would be fun.
Him.
I do get a kick. We could have Tim on for Rocky if we ever do Rocky.
Well,
I did get a kick out of Rowan and Patty. Their little discourse.
Yeah,
and he's fun. Like, "Oh, the workers will be the last ones to suffer during the fourth cataclysm. Take care." Yeah. She's like, all right. Go off with your crazy ass or whatever.
Honestly, even if more of the movie had taken place in the subway, that's a cool setting.
Yeah.
That was a cool setting. I like that. It's a creepy setting. I would have liked the movie to take place more there and the mansion. And instead, it wasn't those things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't forget the queef joke.
Yeah, that was weird.
How do you feel about that one?
Didn't like it. Made me uncomfortable.
Came out the front.
Maybe it was a little extra.
That's because you're a guy. It's like you're saying your ear didn't work because it was a woman-based joke.
No, because it didn't work. Made me uncomfortable.
That's the point, to make a man uncomfortable. You talk about dick jokes.
I guess, sure. In that regard, I just talked myself into liking the joke and appreciating it for what it was. Fine.
So you just do what I did. You just did what I did.
I guess I did.
Where I say something and then by the end of my freaking explanation, I disagree with what I just said. But whatever.
So it's a ring theory. Let's fast forward 20 minutes. So in a way, it's not really a ring theory at all.
Yeah, thank you.
So, the Hobbit, they have hairy feet, but in Lord of the Rings, they have hairy feet. And that doesn't make sense, but actually, it does make sense because they're the same characters. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Did we interview Kevin yet in this act?
No.
Was this the Kevin hiring interview?
No,
okay,
but
we'll
we can get to
then.
it. Act 1 is pretty much done. Not a whole lot.
Wait, one more thing. Hold on.
Yes, naturally.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Joel he's going to kill you for real. But then you can be in the next Ghostbusters movie. All right, you want to go to Act 2?
Yes.
Put that back in your mouth.
Is that your best Gene Simmons impression, Joel?
Yeah, it was.
No, it's not long enough.
Sorry, audio listeners, that you're not seeing what's going on and you're just hearing. Yeah.
He just whipped his penis out.
Put that back in your mouth, not a penis.
He stuck his tongue
Act
out.
2.
All right. Act 2. The women buy an old Chinese building to set up shop. They hire the hottest man alive, Kevin, to be the receptionist. He's a dumbass. Petty comes in to tell about the ghost she encountered, so they go check out the subway station. A graffiti artist hangs out and painted the classic logo, and there it is. The ghost shows up and Jillian prepares the proton gun and Aaron shoots it, but it doesn't really work. Just kind of. Patty joins the team and she provides a hearse. Weird maintenance guy. Again, this is Rowan. I didn't realize his name until Act 3, I think. He talks to his mirror ghosts after seeing, which straight up look like some sort of like special effect little
haunted mansion
gimmick, something that you'd see on an attraction.
Yeah, like haunted mansion
like in a
Disney.
Halloween store. Yeah. It looks kind of cheap.
Yeah.
That's the one effect where I'm like
the haunted mansion.
Anyway.
Like Spirit Halloween.
Sorry.
So Rowan talks to his mirror ghost after seeing a ghost zit on some lady's back. Yuck. Abby tests the new proton pack, and it's not quite refined yet. She gets tossed around. A news report on TV has an interview with Bill fucking Murray as a doctor who disproved ghosts. They get the name Ghostbusters. They just do. I don't remember how. I just wrote it. They get the name Ghostbusters. Jillian, on the news. Jillian rolls up in the Ecto-1 and they suit up for action. They encounter a demon and they get it locked in the ghost trap at a metal concert. Ozzy Osbourne cameos. Everybody celebrates the ladies. Doctor, is it Heiss? Bill Murray, the debunker, visits the Busters to get answers, and he insults them. And Aaron sets the ghosts free to prove herself to the guy. They are then taken to meet the mayor. What? Where have we seen this before? To explain the plot. They think someone is trying to use the blue devices to set free all the paranormal. The government wants them to stop and allow themselves to be seen as frauds because they can do what they do. They figure out that the weirdo is connecting devices across the city to create a giant ghost takeover. They are off to bust, because busting makes me. The Ghostbusters confront Rowan the weirdo to try and stop his ghost apocalypse, if you will. He seems to sacrifice himself and the whole thing gets shut down. Then they get escorted out, but the ghost finder device goes off downstairs. The Busters' reputation goes way down all over the media outlets. Erin thumbs through her book to discover Rowan has a big plan and didn't die. Well, he did, but anyway. He wants to become a giant ghost. The concert scene was so weird to me. Mm-hmm. And the band, I know it was played for laughs, like they weren't supposed to be very good, but it was it wasn't played for laughs. It made me cringe more than it made me laugh. But I'll say this, Christian, you said you were excited to hear about the bit that I laughed the hardest. Mm-hmm. It's when Melissa McCarthy's character, she crowd surfs, and then Patty goes to do it, and she jumps and just lands on her back and goes, I don't know if it was a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell. That's the hardest that I've laughed the entire 3 movies. I rewound it, like I said, 5 or 6 times. I watched it 5. Just her delivery, like, because of how she... Yeah. Because whenever somebody delivers something starting with the word so, it gets me for some reason. So, I don't know. It was just... I loved it. I loved that line. And it made the whole rest of the movie worth it for me.
The only issue, I find it hilarious too, Spencer, but the only issue I have with that is when it's like a totally different scene when she gets up. Like with the ghost on her shoulders. Like 1 minute she's like, I'm mad as hell. And then the next scene she's standing and there's a ghost on her.
Yeah, don't want you to tell me anything. Don't tell me anything.
You know what, Spencer? I'm tired. Yeah. I'm going to go home. I'm just going to go lay down.
Well, put yourself in her shoes. What would you do? Just
no, Patty, you got moves? Nope. I don't. You can't.
No moves. Just don't make any moves, and it's just carrying her. But this scene was awkward, right?
Yeah,
like this whole thing was awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Right? Well, the thing I like about the scene is the scream I found hilarious when I saw it in the theater, but now it's not as funny. Like when the guy Stuart from Mad TV.
Oh, yeah.
Who's basically this movie's version of the concierge. He's like, I saw the ghost, but then I screamed, and my scream must have made it run away. I have a very startling scream. People have told me. And then he screams, "This isn't Art Deco, you idiots!" aim for the ghost. And then they shoot the facade, and he's like, ah! With his, I can't.
Yeah, you're right. That didn't hit for me. I was expecting it to be.
It made me laugh in the moment.
The goats, like that. Ah! Oh, that's what I was expecting.
Okay, there's a big difference though when you have the goats doing it through the whole damn movie, and then this is just one scene.
That wasn't a reference for that. I was just expecting it to be something. Like just not even human sounding.
I got
you. To really go over the top, but instead it was just kind of a high pitch. Wasn't it just a high pitch? I only watched it once. It was last week. I don't know. I guess I'm ill prepared to speak on that part.
Harold Ramis's son makes a cameo.
And he has a statue.
Yes, he's a bust at the Higgins Institute of Science
that they donated to the Harold Ramis film school or something. I read it. I know that doesn't sound like it sounds a little disrespectful because I don't know the actual, but there's a film department at a somewhere in his name, and it's that bust of him is there now.
Cool. I actually
didn't see it in the movie. I just know it was there because I read the trivia. I missed it.
It's right after Aaron's the guy who plays the bad guy from Godzilla King of the Monsters, the eco-terrorist.
Oh yeah.
The leader of the school. Like the dean. He walks out of her office and there's a bust of Harold Ramis there. I like that, paying respects. No, his son plays the metalhead who runs past Rowan and pats him on the shoulder.
Speaking of metalhead, Ozzy, yeah, dude. Ozzy makes what were they trying to do with this concert scene setting? I get that they wanted to make it different than just being in the hotel, but make it better. Nobody was acting like they were at a metal concert. There wasn't any there wasn't a mosh pit. They weren't the band sucked.
Right.
And then Ozzy's just there. Black Sabbath did that in 78.
Okay.
Cool line. But kind of a yikes.
Yeah. The funniest bits about that scene I liked were the mannequins and Patty and them wandering around the back. With her in the wig. Holtzman, this is serious. She's wearing the wig with the mannequin heads. But other than that, it was okay. It didn't really offend me that much. What does offend
Joel?
Me?
Yeah, it did. So what
does offend me is
my main takeaways. Oh wait, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna say.
Go ahead.
Kind of were touched on already. They had a mayor scene just to have a mayor scene. Then we get the first, in my opinion, shit cameo, which is Martin Heiss, which Bill Murray's thing. And I did feel like, okay, this is going on too long. As far as the improv, when they're that scene when they're talking about, they're trying to make these jokes about. How do you think he dances? About Aaron's, boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, well, his character sucked.
I know the character sucked, but it's they took that bit and they are just kept. No, I think it's more like this. I think he's stiff and who fucking cares? Stop the bit.
They're trying to tap into that bridesmaid type humor.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
I found it funny. That's just me. You guys are entitled to your own thoughts about it.
I found the V-neck line funny. That was the only part of that bit I found funny. Also,
I found that funny because they had genuine reactions. The people themselves were laughing at their joke.
His character that's what made me laugh. But also it doesn't make why is he even in it?
Well, you're talking
boyfriend?
You're talking about the V-necks.
The boyfriend, but not a boyfriend.
Yeah, whatever he is.
Yeah, he's an ass.
And wasn't he not in one of the versions that was released of this movie? I think there's a version.
I watched the extended version.
Storyline's not in. Yeah. Me too. That's the one that I got for free.
Yeah, same here.
That it just showed up. I don't know why.
But about clothing choices, extending that thread,
I'm
if
actually
you will.
wearing a V-neck.
I hate the suits. They look like fucking traffic cones inverted. I don't know. I hate the suits and the jumpsuits. What?
They're supposed to be utilitarian.
Yeah, they look like line workers. I don't know. Or
that's what they were.
The thing about the movie, in the behind the scenes, they talked about the decision making behind some of these things, like the logo. That Paul Feig was talking about how he wanted to have an origin story for almost like for the proton packs, for the logo, for how the Ghostbusters came together, for the suits. Like there's a story behind how they got the suits. It's in the movie via Patty saying, "Oh, I got these suits from the MTA or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
So she got them from there. It's giving a backstory behind how she got all these things versus what Spencer complained about the first movie where, oh, well, they just magically have this stuff. They magically have a proton pack. Yeah, you did. You said nothing was...
I know.
Well,
I believe you. I just don't remember it.
Oh. Well, I don't mean
much
to be
like
so
the
defensive
first two movies.
I will say, getting into kind of the gear again now, it's... I do like how... I think this is an Act 2 thing. Holtzman has like this arsenal. They expand upon the Ghostbusters arsenal. I think it is Patty who ultimately gets the shredder thing, the ghost sucker shredder thing, and then they've got the different weapons, and they kind of go through all those. Like those are cool.
Grenade, yeah.
Yeah. So
they're cool. The ghost shredder doesn't really make much sense, but it's cool.
Well, it's cool, okay, man.
Oh, it is cool, but introduce all that.
I don't know what that is.
Introduce that all in that first alleyway scene. It's so weird that they go back to it.
No, the thing about well, that could have been done that way. I can see that. But I think the rationale.
Weird. We've seen this, and they're doing it again.
Mm-hmm.
The rationale is that they hadn't developed those weapons.
Yeah, it takes time to build.
It's showing the development of the team.
But then don't do the alley thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, because they showed that they did the alley thing to show how the development of the proton pack was proceeding into these miniaturized
just have
packs.
That one.
Well, I don't.
We can go on about this,
and then explain the weapons in the car on the way or something. Like, hey, by the way, guys, look at
we have a shredder.
What they do.
Okay,
we'll figure it out.
Let's not show the double blade. No, fuck it. Oh, how's your new lightsaber coming along? Oh, it's so awesome. It's double bladed and it's yellow. Oh, cool. Wish I could see it. That's what you're talking about. You're like, why don't you just explain the weapons in the car? We don't need to see them.
Explain it all in the alley.
Spencer, actually, they could explain it in the car, and then the weapons make their appearance at the end of the movie when they get their spotlight.
Do the classic. Okay. Here's these. But guys, I've been working on them. There's one thing I haven't really figured out with this one yet. Because every time I do this, it malfunctions. And then it's like, she pops up at the end. It's like, shishinking, I got it to work. Fa-fa. But then it malfunctions after it works. Do that gag. Do that classic thing. Where it's, all I had to do was rewire the mainframe to do the fucking and then I put a dildo battery pack in there, and that's how I lit them up. And then it sparks, and it's like, why is it vibrating? Well, that's the dildo battery.
You've got a lot to say about dildos on this episode, I gotta say.
I know, unnaturally so.
Why is it anyway?
I like. What the fuck was I going to say?
I love that part.
I don't remember. But
I think you were about to say the Kevin interview was
did you guys
awful.
get? Well, I'll talk about that in just a second. I just want to see if you guys noticed the little homage, the little reference when she's like, guys, Holtzman, I need some help with this untested nuclear equipment or whatever she said. When they pass, she takes a picture of the logo and she's like, I need little help here, guys. I got this untested. She says the line that Ray says in the elevator in Ghostbusters 1. He's like, we're just on the elevator with untested miniaturized nuclear reactors.
That works better than over-explaining the weapons. To
Okay.
me.
Right.
That's comedy. That's minimalist. Look, right to the point. It's funny. Turn it on, and then it makes a sound, and they all like kind of move.
And
we don't
the
need
proton stream
well, we've
is...
been working on this, but it might kick, and then it flips you all around, and then you zappy, and then I also have this.
I thought that was funny too.
Here's the thing: you want to talk about repeat gags?
The deflatable balloon.
What you're describing, Spencer? Yes, that probably would have worked. But what didn't work for me was the fire station scene, and
that's in Act 3.
Them getting their place, their headquarters, when they're shopping for headquarters, where they're.
That's at the end.
No,
like we gotta do.
He did
place.
fall asleep. He lied.
No, because you mentioned the Chinese restaurant.
I know.
Yeah, they got that.
Yeah, but first they go to the.
Yeah, but
they like check out the fire station. And
do they? I must have been writing a note.
And they do that. It seems just to put the fire station in the movie, say, haha, call back because fans. But they repeat the whole sliding down the entire scene. Essentially,
they did that for you, Joel.
Well, this is where it gets confusing. I think Spencer mentioned how they kind of spend, like, we can't quite pinpoint, like, oh, who's Egon? Because was it Aaron? She comes down the pole and is like all excited about it. And
it was Abby.
Or is it Abby? Okay.
Aaron's talking to the realtor. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that lines up, but it did seem like another scene where things kind of got, the personas got a little confused. I don't know, but bottom line is they threw the firehouse thing. I'm glad that they chose a shitty Chinese restaurant because that's what they deserve. But
what's that supposed to mean, Joel?
That's as far as I'm going to go. There we go. I did like they just threw it in to try to be a crowd pleaser, and it didn't work for me.
That's the same firehouse set they used, I believe, same exterior at least that they used in the first two movies. I think I read that somewhere, but
I read that in a book.
My book has nothing on the 2016
I think it's a nice. Oh, I like how it includes the firehouse as that reference. It's an homage. It's an homage.
That, I guess. I don't know how.
But I like the Kevin. The thing I like about the Kevin scene, again,
I don't.
Too stupid, too dumb. I thought it was really funny when they're doing the interview with him. And you have Abby asking him all these questions and, blah, blah, blah. So I asked Kevin if he could come up with a few logos because he does some graphic design. So whip it out. And then Aaron goes, whoa.
Yeah, that was a Spencer joke right there.
I like how Abby doesn't realize what she said. That's the funniest
logos,
thing to me.
That gag, it didn't work for me at all. It was really stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like real. The first one made sense. A ghost with boobs. Ha ha ha.
Ghost tits.
But then the other ones, I'm like, what are we? What?
The hot
this
dog.
This is the best jokes that they can come up with?
That's a 7-Eleven. Yeah.
That's when they show.
Well, we can't use
when
that.
Really, my expectation for Kevin from then on, I was like, okay, so he's not going to be a good character. Got it.
He's the Louis Tully of the movie.
But he's not.
Well, also,
but he was
combined with Janine or whatever.
And he doesn't work even close as either one of them. Like, pick one of them and have him be competent.
Mm-hmm.
He's not at all.
I agree. I agree.
Why? Because he's just something to look at. Dude, Chris Hemsworth is a funny guy. Let him be funny to his strengths. These were not it.
The character is just too dumb. But again, I think it's ripping off. I think it's doing an inversion of the dumb blonde trope, where you have women that are blonde and that's stupid, but nobody really bats an eye. But now that we've got one guy in the movie acting like this dumb, it comes off as just
demeaning.
Yeah.
Well, like ditzy blondes, like looking like in the, like Legally Blonde. Yeah, she's blonde. but
But
still
she's not
shows her
this
be
dumb.
smart, and
Right.
she's speaking like a competent person would speak. She just is really like girly girl. She's not even really that dumb. It's just some stuff is like, oh, I didn't. But he's unlikably dumb.
Mm.
Like it's Thor. You're making me not like Thor?
Yeah.
Because in this movie, I don't. Never thought I'd see. Even his character in Vacation, the Vacation with Ed Helms,
I didn't
was
know he
dumb,
was
but
in
it
that.
was like, it was worthwhile. His character in this, I was hyped to see him in this. I had no idea what his character was like going into this. And then that when we were first introduced, it was like, I was like, all right, here we. And then it just, the second logo thing, I was like, oh, he's going to be an awful, not really stupid, dumb, not even likable character. Got it.
Well, answer the phone, Kevin. Well, I can't. It's in the fish tank. No, the one in front of you. Kind
No,
of
none
fun.
of his jokes hit for me. None of them. 0%
No.
of them did.
It's just,
Which made
I
the
don't.
ones at the end that should have worked not work for me.
Yeah. I guess we can move on from the Kevin thing.
Okay,
That's the
thank
one
you.
thing about the Kevin thing I thought was funny was when she tells him to whip it out, and then they react to each other like, oops, like I know what that means.
Yeah.
I thought I think it's hilarious. This cracked me up. This might be my favorite line of the movie, Spencer, compared to yours with Patty.
Okay.
When they're going to get Rowan at the hotel, and he's like giving this whole master plan, he's divulging, he grabs a thing and he's about to electrocute himself. And then Abby's like, wait, Rowan, stop. You don't want to do this. There's so much to love about life. There's so much to do and enjoy. I mean, you got the sky, you've got soup.
Yeah.
You've
struggling to come up with
all I can think of is soup. Can somebody back me up on this? just the way all I can think of is soup. Can somebody please help?
Mm-hmm.
That cracked me up. Holy cow. And then he kills himself, and then Patty's like, oh, he's a dead man. That's dead right there.
One thing I do appreciate
Smells
a lot
like bologna in here.
is Patty is clearly the Ernie Hudson character because in the movie she's related to him, but also she's like the outsider that joins the team after it's established, but they actually give her stuff to do. Like
they actually make her
knowledgeable of the
important.
city, and they make her exactly important, and they make her a part of the team instead of. And this is going to come off wrong, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. Instead of like, hey, look, we have a person of color on our team. Check that box.
Token.
No, she's a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not. Which that's what it felt like with
Ernie Hudson.
I know that's the common criticism.
He was like, okay, now he's on the team. Got it. Okay, guys, he's on the team. Remember, give him something to do then. But
let's put him in the courthouse and have him stand there and not do anything.
Right. But she has shit to do. And it works. And she's funny. And she's important.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to check and see if there's a body in the back, because I didn't check before I left. You don't know if there's a body in the back? No, I would just check to see if we had gas. That was what was important to me. Funny. I can think of
Joel,
5 good reasons to mess with a cadaver today.
Oh, such a weirdo, but you gotta love it. That was one of her lines. Holtzman's lines is just like, okay.
So Rowan's plan is to become a ghost to then control the ghosts and unleash the ghosts.
Ghost.
Because
essentially this is Ghostbusters Ghosts Unleashed, which is a ripoff of Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Okay. I've seen this movie. I've essentially seen that movie, I think.
Well, actually, Spencer, the scripts this is actually the repurposed script for that movie. They were going to make Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed 2, but they figured since it's Sony, they could just make it into a Ghostbusters movie.
They're ghosts, sure, but in a more real sense of their spirits. How cool, honestly.
No, that's what Joel says. It's Ghostbusters, sure, but it's not.
What if they just did a crossover like that? Because I'm sure Scooby-Doo has had the Ghostbusters on the show. What if, like, Shaggy, like, Matthew Lillard showed up as Shaggy, or like Fred, or like that team, even like they show up and like, ooh, nope. That would have, honestly, wouldn't have made sense, but it would have been funny to me.
Yeah.
It would have been like the Casper, when Ray appears in Casper. Who are you going to call? Someone else.
I wish Casper, maybe the Casper reference was a reference to the Ghostbusters reference in Casper.
It has to be. It was so that I put, okay, not Scooby-Doo. Put Casper as one of the ghosts that are unleashed. That, just like have him show up, be like,
hi guys,
I'm in the wrong. Yeah, like that would have been
and
fun.
Fatso,
Stinky,
Skinny, Fatso, and Stretch. Yeah, thought. I wish I remember which episode we did that in.
It was a Harry Potter episode.
Okay. I don't really have anything else.
No, we can move
the mayor.
on.
I agree with you guys
do.
on the mayor thing. I just wanted to squeeze that in there. The mayor thing is just not good. It's too silly. It's obnoxious. It's the way Cecily Strong. She's funny in parts on SNL. She can be funny, but in this one, it's just too silly how they're behaving. Particularly her. Okay, now we're going to fake arrest you now. Okay.
Yeah, she's an unlike her character doesn't work for me either.
It's like
I'm with you.
I think it's cool they got
The
Andy
whole
Garcia.
cast of SNL.
Yeah,
Andy Garcia to be the mayor.
Corleone.
We love what you're doing, but we're gonna have to ask you to knock it off. What?
Yeah.
What? And they play off the mass hysteria thing with, no, we had no intention of causing any mass hysteria.
What? No.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg made an appearance, a cameo in this movie.
Put him in this movie.
But they're going to live, aren't they? Their skin is on the inside of them. Oh.
Their organs
There's
were
some
on
part
the
of that
outside.
exchange that makes, their organs are on the outside, but they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of earlier in the movie when Holtzman was like, well, she had an incident where one of her test subjects was put in a coma, but he's going to wake up. He's going to wake up someday. Yeah, he woke up yesterday. Oh, really? And then he screamed for 5 minutes and went back into a coma.
I do not remember some of these parts.
He must have been tired from all that screaming he did.
Yeah,
I don't know. I find
what I got to do with these movies that I have never seen is just watch it all the way through, and then just try to do it from memory, the acts, so I don't miss stuff. Because I feel like I miss stuff when I look down because I'm so worried about getting the acts down. But I just got to focus on the movie and enjoy the movie, and then do the acts. I would encourage you to do that. And I'm gonna try to do it with this. But then I'm like, I don't want to forget this. I want to remember the act. Like, I didn't take notes throughout. I just did the acts. Anyway, speaking of acts, you want to go to 3?
I'm done. Yes. Sorry, I know I tend to hold over.
Yeah, I'm sitting here scrolling on my phone.
Well, don't tell people that.
He doesn't like this movie.
Well, it's in the video.
He doesn't like this movie. He doesn't like this movie. Okay.
I hate this movie.
Act 3. Rowan attacks Abby as a ghost and possesses her, and he goos inside of her face. Hey,
can you phrase that?
I feel like I've seen this in a internet video before. Anyway,
porn joke.
Abby. Oh, was it? Abby is now possessed and tries to destroy the equipment. Then possesses Kevin, and he unleashes the ghosts. There's even the classic generic blue sky beam, but it's different because it's green. Dan Aykroyd cameos as a taxi driver and says he ain't afraid of no ghost. Slimer also cameos and steals the car. He has a wife. The Ghostbusters go on a rampage and take out hundreds of ghosts with their new weapons. Rowan takes the form of a much larger and more evil version of the Logo Ghost, which, cool take, they cross streams to get giant logo into the hell portal, and then Abby gets taken to the portal, but then Aaron jumps in and pulls her out, and it turns their hair gray. They all have a drink at the bar. The mayor's assistant tells them their research is fully funded and they get a fire station. Patty's uncle is Ernie Hudson. It's like they got to this point in the movie and they're like, all right, who hasn't cameoed yet? Ernie. He's okay.
Oh.
And then they got to the credits and like, oh, Sigourney, yeah, we got to get Sigourney Weaver. Okay, so they're in business. Lansing is referenced.
I love that.
Sigourney Weaver cameo, and then the post-credit teases a sequel that never happened when Patty's like, Zool.
Yep.
She hears the name
Doesn't
Zool.
even
Exactly
fucking
how
make
she
sense
says
in
it.
this context. So
I don't know, man. This one really spoon-fed the humor, which we've talked about. The improv, like it over-explains. Like comedy, assume your audience is competent and have a joke that doesn't need to go on for 5 minutes and be explained. It's like me saying, hey, why did the chicken cross the road? And then proceed to tell you 5 minutes. Well, because you see, chickens don't jet. Well, do you get it? It's like after every joke, they look at the camera and go, "Hey, do you get it? Do you get it?" And then explain it anyway. And it's really not great. It tries too hard, but again, I still enjoyed the movie. But anyway, Act 3. Yeah, the gooing in her face.
All right, Christian, just do your positive shit.
The gooing in her face, I didn't like how it just was spewing goo out of her
hot.
face.
Yeah,
Wow.
Whoa.
There he is.
Oh.
I've been waiting for Act 3, guys. So I'm jerking it to her face, and it's just pouring out of everywhere.
I didn't say anything
There's
about
goo
any.
pouring out
Now
of her
we took it
face
to the
and
next
pouring
level.
out of
Leave
her
Why
it
is
there,
Trump
buddy.
entered
other
the chat?
places. Because remember, he was like, blood coming out of her. And because he was being a sexist
Yeah, great.
for a minute.
Well,
For a minute, for his whole life.
4 years of his presidency.
Goo coming out of her.
I think there's a special features on how she did that, how they did that effect, but I didn't watch it, so
yeah,
I don't know how.
It was a
but
turkey
it's
baster.
interesting.
Yeah. So the first note I have about, I don't know, I'm just ready to
What?
fucking get done with Act 3. Random cell phone vlog guy who lives in his mother's basement kind of hits home the whole men are stupid thing in this film, or like that kind of put the
Oh, he does?
that for some reason that was a moment where I was like, wow, okay, well they're really going for it.
Oh, they're making
in this
guys
one,
dumb.
you know, and it kind of overdoes it.
Mm.
Every
on
other
the
guy
feminism.
didn't tip
Yeah.
you off to that.
Yeah.
Potentially.
And then you got the shitty
I didn't really...
cameo number 3, which is Dan Aykroyd is a random ass dumbass.
I thought
cab
that one was
driver.
good.
No, what? You gonna stick him in there? He's gonna be fucking crazy sounding cab driver, and he's just gonna zoom off and whatever. I don't know. Oh, Slimer. See, now that's one thing that they kept. At least they kept Slimer.
But because in the interest of having it female led, he's got to have a wife.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if that. Well, that I don't know.
I was okay with him
I watched
having
the
a girlfriend or a wife or whatever.
Yeah, that was fun. No, I
was
liked
too.
it. I was
Voiced
speaking
by
as if I was Christian.
Miss Slimer. Female Slimer was voiced by. That was my impression of Slimer.
Oh, good.
Voiced by
Who
the
was she voiced
same
by?
actress who did the original Slimer in the original Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Who did? I watched the featurette about Slimer. Originally,
Natalie
it was
Portman.
puppeteered. It was originally puppeteered.
Mm-hmm.
So they built the whole animatronic mask and the whole apparatus that goes over the puppeteer
Apparatus.
and the performer. But I got to be honest with you, if you watch that special feature someday, it looked like garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Feig wanted the... Is it Feig or
Paul
Feig?
Feig.
I think it's Feig.
Paul
Kevin
Feig.
Feige. Paul Feig.
Paul Feig wanted the physical Slimer on the set because that was yet another thing that they had to have. If they were going to make a Ghostbusters movie, they wanted to have Slimer. They wanted to have Ecto-1. They wanted to have the proton packs and the logo.
Well, the funny
And
thing
the
is
original talent.
they did want a real Slimer on there, so they tried to get a real ghost. They tried to get Chris Farley, but the Ouija board didn't work. So.
Oh no, hot dog! Oh, looks like I ate all the hot dog.
And we the thing that I'm mentioning this because it segues into my clip, but anyway, seemed like they were trying to mask the fact that they were just copying the boss fight, if you will, of the, because that's really what it was. They really just had their own version of the Stay Puft, but it is pretty cool.
It's a remix.
The way they went with it and how they went about designing it, and I have a clip about that, so we'll just watch that.
Play it.
About Rowan.
When we were doing the previs and we were trying to figure out what form Rowan should take, we just said, okay, well, let's just make him look like the character from the Ghostbusters cartoon. So it was like, okay, well, let's just do that for now, and then, Rowan will evolve and we'll see where he becomes. But it turns out that actually was a precursor to what he eventually became. We actually hired a traditional animator, and it's hand-drawn animation for a couple of shots anyways, of him in the logo and then kind of popping out of the logo.
If this is what you want, it works for me.
He's really going for it.
So yeah,
I
actually really liked
animated
his
the logo.
form.
Yeah, I like that.
That was cool. That bit was cool.
So there's a little something, but I don't know. It just it didn't seem like an original attempt.
I wipe my butt with this movie.
All right, I'll just not talk the rest of the episode.
Well, I think what it boils down to is
Joel. I'm
women
truly sorry.
can't lead a movie. And that was a direct quote from Christian, but I would disagree with that statement.
Why am I the woman hater?
Because you don't like Sigourney Weaver, and that's a
I thought of something
like
I could have said just now, but I didn't.
Say it,
because you've never been with one.
I know what you were going to say.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Who?
That's too I was waiting for it.
That's sick and disgusting, and that's not for our
set
audience.
You up so long.
Meanwhile, Joel's dick. Anyway, moving on.
Fourth and fifth.
So Act 3.
Cox.
Fourth and fifth useless cameos. Ernie Hudson, and then Sigourney.
That wasn't useless, you piece of shit.
Not.
Sorry, I spoke.
Sigourney's was irrationally. That was
what?
Useless?
Shoehorned in, like.
Oh,
by the way, I have a mentor.
The credits.
Here's this smarter person than me.
I was expecting an audience to cheer, like a sitcom, and I have a mentor.
I don't know.
Hey, if she'd have been a character in the movie, that would have been just fine.
I worked at the movie theater when this movie came out. It was my first summer working at the theater. 2 fun facts. I think I was standing there during the credits when they were doing the little bits with the Ghostbusters theme song by Walk the Moon, which I like the remix of that, by the way. By the Shut Up and Dance With Me guys.
I know who they are. I thought it was Fall Out Boy that did one of.
Well, their version is
not good. Yeah,
I don't like. I'm not afraid. Yeah. That's what.
All right, new front man for Fall Out Boy.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yeah, I didn't like.
Who you gonna call tonight?
Anyway, so during the movie, they showed the whole Lansing bit. People cheered, I think, when she said, I think they're going to somewhere in Michigan.
Sorry, Lansing.
And then people were like, woo, woo. Sorry, Lansing.
Let's fucking go, Michigan!
But I like
state government.
Also, do you think New Yorkers do that with every movie that takes place in New York?
You mean like every movie?
Most
Probably.
of them.
Spider-Man.
Like when the Avengers destroyed New York.
Again.
Fucking let's go! Destroy our city!
It's a shithole anyway. Yeah.
Somebody in the audience.
We're not Texas.
somebody in the audience was sitting through the end credits, and they say to me, "Oh, my son, he works in film. He did these end titles for Ghostbusters 2016."
So that's how that bit made it in.
So someone from Grand Haven, their son, worked on the end credits for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
and
cool.
I thought that was pretty freaking sweet.
I think so.
I expressed as much.
Want that job.
Well,
working on the credits?
Good thing they're not you then.
It'd be the easiest job. Hey, give me a list of everybody that worked on it. All right, I'll put
Joel's, he would just mess it up. He'd do the credits and then he'd just smear his monkey poop all over it because he hated the movie.
He would do the thing in Fight Club where a flash of his penis just shows up for a second, for one half of a frame.
Is that a thing?
Have you ever seen Fight Club?
No, I haven't.
Well, I can't tell you about it because it's the first rule, but you should watch that movie.
Good.
You should watch that
Joel,
movie.
why are you doing that?
Hold on.
Why are you doing that?
Hold on.
I've
seen like a pop culture famous, super popular, really good movie that you haven't seen. Is this your Godfather? You haven't
What?
Dog.
I almost
Fight
won't
Club
want to watch Fight
on
Club
my
just
rack.
because of all the nonsensical things about Night Club, Fight Club.
Night Fright.
You can't talk about rule number 1 of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, and then the whole movie's just this big
hey,
mind screw.
Easy with that.
And I'm talking shit about it. I haven't seen it. I bet.
But
it's
anyway,
a really
this
good movie.
episode is about.
I bet it is.
Anyway, Ghostbusters. If that tells you anything about how good this movie is, we're now talking about Fight Club.
So the floats, the Thanksgiving Day floats, are freaky as heck. In the
Those
parade,
are awesome.
when they're
I love those.
Stay Puft cameo.
The Stay Puft cameo. What else? I love the shot where Aaron like whips out the shotgun, it's like some sort of new gadget weapon. Mm-hmm. And she like whips it out and twirls it and fires it. I thought that was a cool shot, cool gadget. Awesome scene when Holtzman does her little pistol whips. The 2 pistol proton guns. That was awesome with the Ghostbusters.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene because I was just like, okay, yep, they're fighting them. I'm not gonna miss any details. So I was doing the act. I was writing them.
Cool
but
scene.
I want to go back and watch him fight the ghosts one more time and actually pay more attention.
It is a standout scene. I do like the when Rowan possesses Kevin and does like some of the dancing shit. That's kind of funny.
The dancing stuff's stupid. Nope, don't like it. You can, but I don't.
I think it's good improv in the terms of, that's a weird way to say that. In relation to Kevin, his name's, what's the fuck's the actor's name? Chris Hemsworth.
What? Thor.
That was all improvised, I think.
The dance
was him doing all that. Yeah.
Should have just left.
I thought it was funny when he does. Is this too much Peter Pan? I thought that was kind of funny.
They just let him.
See,
do
there's
that.
funny
Christian
moments in
is
the movie.
just easy to please.
Parts of the movie
and has low standards.
Oh, I'm just a chud.
So am I, but
I'm just a chud who thinks everything's funny. He laughs at pudding. He laughs at.
He's just gonna snap. He's gonna snap on us.
He's gonna
snap us.
Snap your fucking neck.
It's gonna be just me. It's gonna be just me talking about movies by myself at some point.
So, welcome back to Sequel the Podcast. I'm your host, Spencer King.
Welcome back to the Sequel Man.
I'm Christian. Welcome back. I'm excited to be here.
I should do that. I should do that one episode. I'll just do
Joel.
both parts.
Oh, and welcome, Joel. Powie. Yes, I'm happy to be here with my enormous penis. I just got done stroking it.
For that colorful introduction. I am Joel. I'm on social media. I am the voice of the Laker marching band, LMB. You can find me there. I will also watch your dogs.
All right. We don't need to get into that.
That's all I have to say.
I will
That's all I have to say about this movie because I fucking hate it. Good night.
If you want me to sleep with your wife,
Okay.
Okay. No, he doesn't do that.
That's where I draw the line.
I draw the line. Can you let me finish?
I never
draw
do.
the line there. But hey, your dog is a different story. So, can we just fucking talk about Act 1? Can we talk about Act 1, please? I'm Joel Powie, and doggy style is my style, and it pays the bills.
Damn it, Joel. Spencer. It was fucking Spencer. Wait a minute,
guys,
no.
I got a sidebar real quick. Joel, it's actually half of this is actually kind of cool. We mentioned the mayor, our Grand Rapids mayor, and you guys were like, you don't fucking know who she is. I'm like, no, I didn't. So I think the very next day after recording that, or a couple days,
yes.
my wife and I and the kid, we went to a restaurant downtown, like a nicer restaurant, and I get in there and I sit down, and Krista's like, that's my wife. She goes, hey, that's the mayor of Grand Rapids is sitting right over there. I'm like, is that, we just talked about her on the podcast, and I talked about how mayors don't do anything, and I didn't know who she was. Should I go and tell her? But she said hi to my daughter. I wasn't there for that, but so I'm assuming she's a nice person. And the second sidebar to that, what?
Can you tell him the joke I made in our chat? Being a little shameless plug here. No, it was a Ghostbusters reference. It was when I said you should have turned to her and you should have said, Mrs. Mayor, I was so glad to see you. Almost half of us voted for you in the last election. Yeah. And pointed at the two kids.
That would have been. I should have. No, but I didn't approach her. What was the other half of this sidebar? What were we talking about previously? No. What? We were talking about Joel's.
No, we weren't.
No, it was it was fucking Spencer.
Oh, yeah, that part.
No, wait,
okay, so I'm lifting. I have, all right, guys, that bit about when you're like, I had to shit and I was sweating.
Last episode, yeah.
I'm sitting there, I'm benching, and I have 2 dumbbells. I'm like, oh, no. This part, no, but I had to finish my set. And I almost dropped a 65-pound dumbbell on my face. And then I'm sitting there. This is the worst part. I'm sitting there laughing harder than I've ever laughed at
us.
At least in a while. Yeah, at us. And I can't. And I'm just sitting there, earbuds in. Obviously, nobody knows what I'm laughing at. I'm really trying to hide it. I'm trying to be quiet.
You were at a public gym.
I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there on the bench, just like trying to hide my laugh. But I'm doing that silent laugh. And here's the dumb part. I keep replaying it, thinking, maybe it'll wear off. And I can't get through. Anyway, it was a really good workout. It ended up being, but I can't imagine people around me were thinking. Like, I mean, most people were just focused on what they were doing, but somebody had to have seen me and been like, the fuck?
Why don't you just get up and take a shit then? In front of everybody? Oh,
I can't wait to hear that part. I've yet to play that back.
In front of everyone, or?
But I was telling the truth. I mean, I was suffering, and then.
Well, just the part
you do that all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to take a shit, and I was sweating.
Why are those two related? I don't know, but it was what was happening. So.
Anyway, Ghostbusters. You
must have had
3.
swamp ass.
Yeah.
I mean, third act. Ghostbusters third act. It's not Ghostbusters 3. It is, but
it's not.
Same but different. Different but not same.
I don't know if I have a whole lot to say. I find the last scene after the credits when they go to the rooftop, I find that a little corny.
The thank you, GB.
So New York does know what we did.
Oh, that one. Okay.
And blah, blah, blah. Find it a little corny. I know they did the same thing in Ghostbusters 2.
The post-credits scene was pathetic. Like, that didn't even...
I thought it was cool when I saw it.
Like, that doesn't make...
I actually hope they make a sequel.
And Christian, if they're doing a whole nother universe, well, Zool doesn't exist there. You know, like...
Yes, actually, it can, because I guess in Dan Aykroyd, in the original script, it was going to be, according to Ivan Reitman, it's going to be like in space and across multiple dimensions and universes, and then
whatever
squads of Ghostbusters competing against each other. That can still happen with Ghost Corps.
That's fine.
They could decide to do like a multi-dimensional, multiverse thing.
That's stretching to justify the fact that what it really was them just throwing something in there to try to be like, haha, they're trying to do a Marvel thing and like hoping to score a sequel or something. It's like, no, you shat all over it.
I would have liked a sequel to this.
I respectfully disagree with you.
Two of us, not okay.
I think they could have made it better. They need a redemption. Okay, spoilers for the next one. I have not seen it, so don't spoil. But give me this
spoilers, but don't spoil it.
Is this movie in any way, big or small, referenced at all? Like even in a meta way?
I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so they completely. Okay.
I don't think so.
I won't get my hopes up.
Okay, Austin.
So you mean these women don't cameo as random people? As a callback to the classic that was 2016?
No.
Okay.
No.
Much better things happen in Afterlife. And in the afterlife.
Not for you.
I'm going straight to hell.
Maybe.
They had a role for me.
I'd like to think you get a chance. You get up there and say,
I do have a chance.
Joel. Oh yeah, you were funny.
I do have a chance.
You're going to be kind of our lower level employee, but what are you doing?
Is a dog.
That's my chance.
Hey, Chance.
This is the first time I've turned the camera around on him.
He looks dead.
He's sleeping.
He's sleeping. He's adorable. He's a good boy.
He looks miserable.
I've never met him.
Stop.
Can I come over?
You can.
Joel,
he's just a smelly old fucking needy dog. But yeah.
See, you don't even like him.
I do too.
No, we're talking about Chance. Describe Chance.
I am almost 30, so I do feel old.
Who else was he?
I'm 30 in a month.
Stop.
I'm 30 in exactly a month.
Sorry, Dad.
No, it's 45 and up.
I do want to do something for my 30th birthday. Do you guys willing to do something for my 30th birthday?
Maybe we should plan it off air. That's a good way to do it.
Oh,
hey,
sorry for being casual and being normal.
Hey, why don't you plan your own surprise party?
Go have your own birthday.
That would be kind of funny.
No.
Yeah.
Go have your birthday with yourself.
You should have a cake. Right? You should have a cake that it's Joel.
Yeah,
and the candles is pee-pee.
We're done.
I hope we're done.
We're done.
I don't have. I'm sorry. I don't have any joy for that. I had less joy.
Oh my gosh! I know what's coming
for this as I did. Guess what?
The Last Jedi.
The fucking A.
Oh,
what did we cover recently? High School Musical. Okay, like.
Oh,
I was dreading this episode.
Franchise. Ghostbusters isn't
more than any of those. Well, maybe not any of those. Maybe, yeah, 2 was High School Musical 2 was pretty rough.
I don't think there's been an episode that I've dreaded.
No, you're a fucking liar.
There's one, Batman and Robin, because we watched it once. Oh,
because it was yeah.
And then we decided to redo it, so I had to watch it again, like a year later or two. That was the one where I was like, I don't know. But I'm pretty excited to watch all these movies. I wasn't looking forward very much to Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2.
We're going to have a brawl but, if you come on here next episode and Afterlife didn't do it for me.
If you fellas,
no, Paul Rudd, it's automatically up there.
Okay,
when you get actual good actors in your movie, I'm in.
Do we have any? I guess I don't really have much to say.
I've said all I need to say.
Act 3, so
I've been enough of a pessimist and shadow over this entire episode, I guess.
Final thoughts, guys. Final thoughts. I know, Joel, tell us how you really feel.
Oh, he has the entire time.
I think it did. It truly did nothing in my eyes. Like it was a reboot that even failed at being a reboot. Like, I don't know. It didn't do it for me, you know. I'm not a big fan of reboots to begin with. Now, if they rebooted the sequel trilogy of Star Wars, maybe we can talk. But
that wouldn't make you can't that you that,
There's to you there are no redeemable qualities to this movie at all. There's
some of the humor and Slimer. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's fair. That's fair.
And I did like seeing all
That's
the
fair.
different ghosts, the multitude of like different types of ghosts. That was cool too.
Okay.
I respectfully disagree with your opinion, and that's okay. I thought it was fresh and new and funny.
Yeah,
it made me laugh. It had me laughing many times throughout the movie. I just take it as its own thing. It's its own separate universe. It's doing its own thing. It's not trying to replace or be better, I don't presume, than the original movies. It's trying to be. It's made with love and respect for the original movies. Because Paul Feig, he respects and loves the Ghostbusters movies just as much as any other Ghostbusters fan does too. And I think it's the same with Ryan Johnson and other people who, like the guy, I like to think of the people at 343. Like, I don't think the people who make these things hate the things that they're working on and are trying to purposefully sabotage it. I don't think that's the case.
For those of you that don't know, it's a Halo reference. Okay.
Yes, that is a Halo reference. How people are claiming 343, like, I think there's I can't.
It's all bullshit. It's fine.
I can't remember or think of the last time I saw someone say that, 343 hates Halo. But that's kind of what I'm going off of.
Right.
Okay.
But I just don't like that trend that's happening with these reboots and with these movies that try to be referential to the original classics, and like The Last Jedi, and they try and do something new and fresh and different, and it just gets this crowd of people online that just hate it. They get pissed at the people who are involved with it, like Ryan Johnson, like Leslie Jones, other people involved. It just turns into a big mess. They start attaching things to it, like Gamergate, the whole anti-feminist stuff and gaming that happened at the time. It just because something doesn't match your expectations doesn't mean that it sucks. And I'm going off of more of the vitriolic response to this movie when it was coming out. Not like targeting you specifically in your opinion. That's not what I mean to do, Joel.
No, I know.
Just because you didn't enjoy the movie. I'm going on the broad reaction to it. The broad reaction, I think it's just so overblown. The hatred that happened was just so out there. And I'm not really a fan of how Dan Aykroyd in the behind the scenes is like talking up how good this movie is, and I love the talent, and I love how this movie's shaping up. I think it's really good. And then he goes on late night or does an interview and says that, well, they didn't listen to our advice. The movie had too big of a budget, and if they would have listened to our advice, it would have done better. Like, why? He's been very inconsistent, shall we say? I can't wait talking about Ghostbusters as a franchise. I like the guy. I like Dan Aykroyd, and he's a part of Ghostbusters, always will be. But he shouldn't have threw this movie under the bus in that interview.
If anything, he's to blame for doing that because people that follow him.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm done talking about the movie. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Enjoyed this movie because I like not great movies because I went in with the expectation being low, so I already knew that it wasn't going to be great, but it wasn't going to be awful, and I just appreciated it and watched it and enjoyed it for what it was, which was just a dumb comedy movie that was a reboot that I thought was a sequel. So I was confused pretty much the entire time. But hey, it worked for me, but a lot of it also didn't. Like, I realize it's not great, but if you asked me, hey, of the three, which one do you want to rewatch again? Because it's a modern movie, it's this one. Like, I'd watch it. It's for the same reason I would watch Attack of the Clones 100 times before I went back and rewatched New Hope. Because it's just a little bit more modern. I grew up with that. And it's
modern sensibilities.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate. I like that. And I'm an optimist. I'll find the good in stuff. I'm like the anti-Joel.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can point out the negatives too. Like, here's a positive negative. I think the movie does a really good job of, it doesn't come off as being overtly woke, quote unquote.
Yeah, except
like
for
with the women casting.
The car siren. Woke, 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 woke. I thought that was weird.
Well, okay. Cool. Funny. But there's no overt woke references like you'd see in Captain Marvel with the "you should smile more." We'll get to Captain Marvel. That scene, the feminist stuff in that movie doesn't work for me. But in this
there was
movie,
one other line. Sorry.
Oh, in this movie?
Sure, John. Yeah, there was one other line that I really, really liked. I really, really liked. Because how it was delivered and just played, it worked. Was when they stepped out and then Melissa McCarthy's character and Kristen Wiig's character both said, "Let's go," kind of at the same time. Like, you were gonna say it. Okay, sorry. Like, I thought that was funny. Let's go. Oh, I liked that part. That part was
next
funny.
time.
That actually worked.
Yeah.
Like, that's a joke that they didn't need to sit there and keep. Okay, well, here, let's try it again. Are you going to say it or am I going to say it? They could have done that, and they didn't do that. The one time they reeled it in and kept it simple, and that's when it works the best. So maybe do that. But I'm pumped to see Paul Rudd, baby, and the kid from Stranger Things. Let's go. And apparently my favorite actor that starts with a J.
I am super excited to see Afterlife again. I say it again and again. I love that movie. It's so good. It's so well executed. I can't wait to talk about it.
Joel, you feel the same?
Well, me and Joel went and
I've
saw it
only seen
together.
it the one time in theaters, so yeah, I'm really anxious to see it again.
You approve?
Do I approve of Afterlife? Of course I do.
Yeah. Okay. Just not in like your personal.
I'm talking about the movie. The Afterlife? What the fuck are you saying?
Okay. So I was just retreading it. Anyway, Christian, play us out or something.
Joel's going to send you to the Afterlife.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Ooh,
anyway,
a murder joke. We recorded it.
That's a threat.
Thank you for listening to
Joel
Sequel Men the
Confession
podcast. This has been a new episode. We're just going to move forward with that. This has been another episode of Sequel Men the podcast, the Ghostbusters Answer the Call edition. That's the name of the movie. They changed it.
Yeah.
As to avoid confusion with the original. It's been fun. I like talking about this movie. I enjoyed watching it. I'll watch it again, and maybe I'll keep my poster up. I wish I had another one. I wish I had an Afterlife poster, but I didn't work at the theater when that came out last year. Was it last November?
Now he manages one.
Joel?
Yes.
When it came out? Wow. It feels like it's been longer than that.
For some weird reason.
She said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Excited to move forward into Afterlife and wrap up the Ghostbusters franchise. You can listen to us. Listen to this. I'm running out of gas here, guys. I'm running out of gas. You can listen to this episode again if you'd like, or you can tune into all our other ones on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Pandora, wherever you like to listen to your episodes of podcasts. That's where you can find them, and that's where you can find us. So, take it away.
You can also find us on the social medias, like the Facebook. And that's kind of it right now.
Yeah, we're going to just.
But every episode I lie and I say, I'm going to post. I haven't. I will. I did. I want to. And thanks for listening to us. For those that do. Thank you to Texas for just being big. And follow us on there. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. Give us a tell your friends. Do that. That helps more than even giving a review. But also do that. That helps too. Thanks. Joel, take it away.
I think we still have an email, sequelman19@gmail.com. So there's that. If you'd like to complain or compliment. I don't know. I don't care. We're going to read it either way to either appreciate or humiliate you. So that's that. Yeah, they already said the socials and the platforms. I also have a website, jpvoicedj.com. I have the YouTube channel embedded into my website, so you can get to the YouTube channel. I do create videos. It's going to be a slog here for a little bit because it's holiday season. Like I said at the top of the show, I had COVID again for the second time. So I was out for a bit there.
Sick ass,
I
boy.
was. I'm tired. I just was.
Boy, what was the second time?
This was not as brutal, but man, it knocked my ass out. I'll tell you that. So that's why I haven't been working on the videos.
He couldn't have sex for 5 whole
That's
days.
An entirely different issue, subject.
That's a different sickness. That's erectile dysfunction.
I'm doing fine in that department. Anyway, let's go.
Okay. I had COVID too.
I haven't yet. Mr. One Up. Oh, you had it? Yeah, I had it. Knocked me out too.
I think Spencer's the only one out of all of us that hasn't had it.
But my son did. He's the only one in the family.
And you didn't get it. Wow.
No.
Yeah. So, okay.
Anyway, COVID story time's over,
bro.
Guys, we cannot wait until the next one. I can't wait till the next one.
Well, that's right, Christian, because here at Sequel Men, the podcast,
all films are created sequel. So I got an air fryer.
Wow, that's a
Made
good place
bagels
to fucking
tonight.
stop
Pretty
recording.
pumped about that.